Coming up, a dialogue continuing on the future of the Grand Bahama International Airport. A call for the R&D Cinema Movie Theater to be reopened. And Rotary assisting local fishermen. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the government, Hutchison Port Holdings, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority continuing dialogue on the future of the Grand Bahama International Airport. The airport was severely damaged last year, and government officials have gone on record to say they are not pleased with the pace of repairs at the facility that is critical to the island's tourism sector. Tonight, the Minister of State for Grand Bahama is giving this update.
Grand Bahama's only movie theater doors are still locked.
That remains the question to which a concrete answer has yet to be given. The Grand Bahama International Airport was extensively damaged during Hurricane Dorian, and repairs have been estimated to cost up to some $40 million. But there has been repeated calls by the public for the government to purchase the entryway from Hutchison Whampoa and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, says at this point the discussion is ongoing.
The airport requires a long-term plan and a long-term rebuilding plan. The airport has been destroyed a number of occasions by hurricane, and it will require us to not just rebuild it, but it will require a rebuilding smarter and rebuilding more resilient.
But he says the government is not afraid to make the hard decisions regarding the Grand Bahama International Airport.
Hutchison has not rebuilt or started rebuilding the facilities that were previously there. We have been informed that Hutchison terminated approximately 11 persons. As a result, the government has proceeded with having discussions with Hutchison on the Hutchison and the Grand Bahama Port Authority on the future of the airport.
However, these terminations may just be the beginning, as more layoffs are expected through a phased approach. That, according to Union President Dave Barr, who says management has remained tight-lipped on the specific details as it relates to how many persons or when these terminations may come. The minister was also asked about the possibility of future layoffs.
I wouldn't be able to comment on any future layoffs, no.
But he contends that they will continue to dialogue in the best interest of the Bahamian people.
The future ownership and future management of the airport. We recognize the importance of the airport. It is important not just for residents, but it is important for our future development. It is important for our rebuilding process. It is critical for those two major projects that we expect to move forward this year. And so the government is not shying away from making the difficult but necessary decisions that have to be made with respect to the airport. We had to do it with the Grand Lucayan, and we now are seeing the process of the Grand Lucayan, where a new development is coming on stream, and a new development which will be a game changer for Grand Bahama.
Have the curtains come down on Galleria Cinemas? Well, that's the question many are asking. The movie theater has been out of commission since September, and residents say it is time that Galleria Cinemas, located in the R&D Plaza on the Mall Drive, be reopened to offer some wholesome entertainment. Italia Hall has more.
Grand Bahamas' only movie theater doors are still locked since the passage of Hurricane Dorian. Now, many Grand Bahamians are asking why. Some say Grand Bahama deserves a movie theater, as there is very little entertainment on the island.
Right now, I want to watch Bad Boys, and I have to fly to Nassau to IMAX and watch movies. It's very expensive, and just to see. And like I said, we have kids, family groups, and people who, it's an outing, and it's an experience, and it's a part of life, and not to be able to do that is definitely a disability for Freeport and for the people around.
I feel bad because that's the only way I go to watch good movies.
We just need something to do in Grand Bahamas. Right now, it ain't much to do, and the movie theater was our getaway. And so we want to get back to it.
Some may say they now have easy access to movies in the comfort of their homes with American media service providers such as Netflix and the Amazon Fire Stick, so there is no need for the theater. But these residents say it is an outing that caters to the entire family.
Entertainment in Grand Bahama is dead, and since the hurricane with the theater, it is just worse. There's nowhere for people to go in the nighttime, and especially people my age too. You want to care with your counterpart.
Sometimes you can go to theater for R&D and relax on a Sunday afternoon with your loved ones and your kids. It is a pleasure. I do miss it a lot because on Sundays I used to go to the movies, and now I've missed it, but now I find myself in the front room now.
I see no reason why it should still be closed because, as you know, it's not that many places and things to do especially for families. So basically, as a matter of fact, I just drove by there to do delivery, and I was thinking, wait a minute, that's still closed. Because I usually take my daughters, them and their friends from school normally go there.
But this resident believes this is the opportunity for Grand Bahamians to come together and open their very own movie theater.
We as entrepreneurs and business people need to come together and, put our monies together, respect each other, and create something.
Now, no word yet from the owners as to what will happen with the facility. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Fishermen in the east suffered tremendous loss following Hurricane Dorian. For some of them, their boats and equipment were destroyed, and for others, they simply cannot be found. Well, the Rotary Club is coming to the aid of these local businessmen. Our Jamila Mizik has the story.
Rotary clubs across Grand Bahama continuing their efforts to restore some sense of normalcy to residents in the east 5 months post-Superstorm Dorian. Rotary GB Disaster Relief Committee member James Saul says while getting those displaced persons back in their homes remains one of their main concerns, they are doing their best to help residents in that community pick up the pieces in every aspect of their lives.
Many people know, and many people around the world, bone fishing and fishing is the main industry in the East End. McLeanstown, Sweeting's Key, and actually, over in High Rock and Pelican Point too. These fishermen, most of them are out of work. 80-90% of the boats were totally destroyed. So if that's your main source of income, and you've lost your boat and you lost your engine, what are you going to do?
Sarl says Rotary has partnered with an international NGO to assist those local fishermen.
In conjunction with Global Medic, what Rotary is doing right now, we have a great program, is that we've gone out in McLeanstown and we've set up a mobile operation, hired local people. A lot of them are fishermen who are giving back, and they're fiberglassing, putting the boats back together. And then we're raising money for the engines. So this is all not going to cost the fishermen anything, just through the generosity of people around the world who have a love for fishing and trying to help the Bahamas, and through Rotary's work. So we're going to get those people back working. So once they're out working, then they can, it's a trickle down, so they can feed their families and they'll have money to spend. And so that's what's moving on right now.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Well, more heat tonight for the Grand Bahama Utility Company. A local trade unionist is accusing the water company of dragging its feet on the issue of salt intrusion. He says consumers should not be required to pay for water that is of poor quality. Italia Hall reports.
Local trade unionist Kirkland Russell says he is concerned about the quality of water in Grand Bahama. He says he understands that the water wells were compromised during Hurricane Dorian, but the problem is just taking too long to be fixed. He says residents are saying that the water is ruining their household items.
They are losing their equipment, their washers and heaters and you name it. We understand the negative impact that this must have on the employers as it relates to losing equipment from heaters to air-conditioned systems. We know that it must also be having a negative impact on our visitors and tourists making a decision and making up their mind whether to come to Grand Bahama or to go to somewhere else.
He says it is a frustrating situation.
Thanks be to God, we haven't had any major cholera or disease outbreaks that are due to water, and in that we must thank companies and NGOs like Mercy Corp and Samaritan Purse and the Polymers and the Rotary and all those organizations that continue to supply us with fresh drinking and cooking water.
Russell believes consumers should not be charged until the water situation is fixed.
Do not charge for water until the water situation is properly fixed and good, clean, running water is flowing throughout this island.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Italia. Well, last night, GB Utility told ZNS News that at this point, 50% of the wells that were impacted by the storm are now back up and operational. And of that number, they require 85% of the wells to be potable in order to achieve island-wide potability. But right now, GB Utility is at 25%. Switching gears now, plans unveiled for the new Walker's Key. New owners say they are working aggressively to have the key restored, and they promise that it will be a destination that everyone is proud of. Megan Shepard picks up the story.
Businessman Carl Allen and his wife Gigi say they are excited about the redevelopment and reopening of Walker's Key. The couple bought the small island in May of 2019 and began working. However, Allen notes that the hurricane season did create a setback. Once completed, Allen says he wants to restore the island back to a fishing mecca.
We are hoping to open the marina sometime in midsummer, and then a grand opening where we'll have structure and rooms and restaurants and bars and all that will be probably New Year's. I'm very excited about the marina. We'll have 90 slips. It'll be the first time that we'll be able to get up to about 8 super yachts, 14-foot draft even at low tide. So we've talked about it being a point of people going to Bermuda or the Northeast as a stopping point for the big yachts. We are going to cater to the center console. That's a big market, so we'll have about 60 slips for the center consoles. And then, of course, all the convertible fishing boats, and real excited about bringing the tournaments back.
Gigi adds that her vision for the island is to restore a former church and create an amazing wedding and honeymoon destination.
I've been focusing on the church. We are so excited. We're reorienting it toward the south, so the church will have a beautiful view to the flats, not the flats, to the banks. And it's exciting. So many people have come and talked about being married there, some wonderful times meeting somebody there that they'll eventually marry. So we're very excited to host some weddings. We've had people contact us if they'd like to make a date, but we're not doing that quite yet. So we will make an announcement as soon as we have those dates in mind.
Allen says he is hopeful that all plans will go smoothly for a grand opening in 2021.
Probably have 50 employees that'll be from Freeport and Little Grand, and we're hoping that we don't have a storm this year, as well as everybody. So, but yeah, tremendous excitement, and hopefully at the end of the year we're open.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
And coming up, a massive giveaway planned for tomorrow. We will have the details on the other side of the break.